Coming from the Caveman Studios in Buffalo, New York. Welcome to Caveman Corner with your host, Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
Thanks.
Click subscribe and the bell. Do it now!
I'm here with the one, the only, the $1 million mix, Patchy Mix. How you doing, sir?
Doing well, bro. How you doing? Feel
I'm
good.
doing excellent. Thank you for taking the time to give back to Buffalo, man. Like, you're big time now. You're Bellator world champion. You won $1 million, and you're still like talking with guys from the 716 who are really like nobody's in the big scheme of things. So I really appreciate your time.
Anytime, man. I still do the same interviews, as I always did. I guess a couple fights really doesn't change it, just media and stuff, interviews. I like doing these ones, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, these are super fun for me. I love to have like a superstar in a building that I know. Sometimes it's a little intimidating interviewing people, but it's nice to be like relaxed with someone that, kicks your butt all the time. Like, because if I say something bad, you just choke me out later. So it's all pretty good, man. I have to ask you a question. What's going on with Bellator and the PFL? People ask me over and over again. I know we've talked personally, but I don't want to say anything out of turn. So, like, when people ask, I was like, I don't know. I don't talk to Pat. So, can you let me know what's going on with Bellator and the PFL, the merger and everything else?
So, I was kind of in the dark with it last year. I didn't know what was going on with Bellator. Even before my fight, I thought Bellator 300. Yeah, I love it. Bellator 300 was I thought that might be the last show that Bellator had, because the news and the rumors had been it was going to be sold. So I was waiting, and then I got booked versus Pettis, to kind of unify the titles, which I was happy about, and that was Bellator 301. And that's been the last show that Bellator had for the year this year. So going into the 2024 year, now obviously the news is broke that PFL have now bought Bellator. So now, from my understanding, it's going to be that Bellator is going to run as such for the next 2 years. I mean, obviously, they have to run out everyone's contract because now PFL bought out Bellator. They have to honor everyone's contract that's signed with the promotion. And when they bought the promotion, I believe they bought all of our contracts as well. So Bellator will operate as such, for the next couple of years. So for the year of 2024, I believe they're going to have 8 shows. That's what I'm told from the higher up guys that I talk to. Obviously, I'm a champion, so I'll be headlining or, among the top of one of those shows. So I believe Bellator should have 8 shows this year, and they're going to be a one-off series from the PFL. So PFL is going to own the entire promotion, the league, and they hired a bunch of Bellator staff that we used to be, work underneath. So I'm going to just work underneath a similar staff, but the highest up people that own it is going to be now the PFL owners and not Viacom, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Where are they going to broadcast the shows now? The Showtime deal is over, right?
Yeah, the Showtime deal is 100% dead in the water for not just Bellator, but boxing as well. So, Showtime's not doing any combat sports moving forward in the new year. So I'm not sure where Bellator is going to run. I know they're trying to work on they have to, honestly work on some sort of platform deal, obviously. So I think that's probably the holdup. I know Bellator is working with PFL on a card in February 24th or something in Saudi Arabia. I heard nothing that I'm going to be a part of, but that's
Right.
what I heard. It should kick off the season for both leagues, and then I'm hoping to hear what's next. To see trying to be on one of these first few Bellator cards in the new year here, and I'm excited to see what what platform we'll be on, what stage I could take my talent to.
Me too. I'm happy to see that because then I can get rid of Showtime. I only have Showtime just so I can watch you, dude.
Yeah, me too. I only have Showtime, so I could now watch my old fights, but I'm canceling my subscription. I'm not really watching those old fights anymore.
Yeah. I would steal it, except like it supports you. Like when you're a champion, like all that stuff helps you out. So like I always I used to steal them back in the day when you first started there, but then once you're into the championship run and the $1 million tournament, I started buying them. Like try and support you the best I can.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that all works with Bellator pay-per-views or anything. They don't sell pay-per-views, and I don't know what their deals are. I'm not sure it directly helps me. I mean, I'm sure it helps the league and stuff stay afloat, though. The more people that obviously buy the network and their their show.
Yeah, I think when you sign on right
It's
when
hard when they have
Bellator,
it's hard when they have a paywall, you know what I mean? Behind
yeah,
certain things, like it's like you have to pay for a reoccurring subscription to watch fights. You know, that doesn't get the audience. The audience, like, if you build a stat card, they might buy like a pay per view, or you could do like fight nights. You know, kind of how the UFC does it.
yeah,
It's hard with that paywall, where when we used to be on Showtime. You know, where they're trying to subscribe to it. You know, everyone's trying to watch the fight, and then you got to get someone to subscribe to it. It's like typing all
mhm,
your information. No one's trying to do that shit. You know, it's hard.
yeah, for sure. So Dana was saying that some of the like if you're not in the UFC, you're wasting your time. It doesn't matter what they pay you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that was Joe Rogan. He was just saying that you if you're not in the main league, such as the UFC, that you're not basically playing doing the sport, or if you're not in the NFL, you're not playing football. But I mean, I could see it on the lower level, but not on my level. You know, I'm in the highest level. I'm one of the what's the word for it? I'm one of the anomalies outside of the UFC that's been able to make the same, millions of dollars outside the UFC. Um, through not many fights, but through winning many fights. You know what I mean? The way that I won them. Not a lot of people can do what I do and get on the contract that I am, but I have a lot of finishes and I have the record to match it. So it's like, and I have a stacked division. So it's like, I could, I'm still doing MMA, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, I see what they're saying. Like, if you're not, even though if you're making 20 grand fighting and you're barely getting by, fighting a couple times a year, people think that's still a lot of money. It's really not. After taxes, you pay your coaches, you pay everyone out. It's just not a lot of money anymore. So it's like, even if you're on like entry level contracts, like Bellator, pay, not Bellator, just like some of these leagues, should I say, pay like 10 and 10, 15 and 15. That seems like good money at the time, but you waste 5 years chasing to get to the top, you never get there. It's like, at least if you went to the UFC, you get the notoriety. You get to leave with that name. You know what I'm saying? UFC veteran. There's a lot more opportunities for like sponsorships and shit, shit like that. Like not to wear them to the cage, but I'm saying like outside of it, the networks, the viewers you get are just 10 times more than any other league. So that's what Joe Rogan meant by like, if you're not in the you know what I mean? If you're not in the
Yeah,
UFC, it's like you're not in the NFL. But at the same time, if you can make a living, and make it the way that I made it, it's like, I would trade it all for, just the eyeballs and stuff.
would you like? I think you got a pretty mate, man. Like you're fighting. I mean, people don't maybe not see it, but you're fighting the best guys, some of the best guys in the world. To like top 20 bantamweights ranked in the entire world, and you're beating them and submitting them. Like if you go in UFC, you're gonna do the same thing. And the way you did it, you made a lot of money. And now if you go over to UFC, you're already a name. I don't think doing it your way is really that bad. And your name's actually getting
Yeah.
called on Rogan too. Like they talk about you every time they talk about guys in Bellator that compete in UFC. So I mean, it worked
Yeah.
for you.
I don't really try to, the whole, I just try to work on what I do well. I try not to compare myself to those guys because, I don't know. I don't know when I'll fight them or if I will ever fight them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I just know who I compete with. I compete with like, the monsters that are very good over there, in all weights, not just 35, 45, 55, even up to 70. So like, I know where I'm at in the world level, and promotionally based, like whatever promotion wise, it doesn't really like, I don't really look at it like, for me, like when I compare myself to like competing against these guys, I think I did it in a smart way. Like you said, I came over to a league that paid me decent money when I started. So when I was starting, when I got signed at whatever 10-0, I was able to have foundation underneath me. I was able to reinvest in myself, where I wasn't like worried about being broke. And you know what I mean? Once I got signed, from the first day till now, they've taken good care of me to the point where I've been able to stay active and make a lot of money for myself from even before I won the title. So I feel like they helped build me, and then I reinvested in myself, and then you see the turnaround later in my career. Like my first 5 fights in Bellator, I had to take a learning lesson, get to the world title, win a lot of fights in impressive fashion, but not really settle into my own. Now in the next 5, I've been able to really hone my style, learn what I'm really good at, really good at doing. And it's because Bellator was able to pay me correctly in order for me to build a foundation, travel the world, be able to go learn from all these coaches and go to all these good training rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I
you've definitely shown everything you have too. You've shown how much your striking's improved. People don't know that you're. I don't know if I should say this or not. That you're not even left-handed, but you fight southpaw. Like you turn your striking around. Like you not turn around. Like because I know how good you are in the room, but you let it show in the cage. And it was great to see you knock out Stotts. You show that you can submit some guys that don't get submitted, like Magomedov. You've shown that you're the best in the world and you can compete in every area. And I can't think of a better platform than what you got to do it in.
Yeah, right now, and it's only getting bigger. Like, I'm talking for my career up until this point, especially with this merger and stuff. You know, um, Obviously, I ended my year last year. I was ESPN's, the fighter of the year outside of the UFC. Um, on Ariel Helwani's podcast, I was nominated for a bunch of awards as well, like a bunch of these, breakthrough fighter, fighter of the year, knockout of the year, all these things. And 2023 was a good year, but I'm just warming up. Like, I'm 9 days something through the year right now, and I'm gonna get way better. It's like way, way, way better. And for that, I was able to, like I said, I was able to invest in myself before, but now I'm able to invest in myself as a world champion, with world championship money, with a world championship team around me, with coaches in every facet of the form. I feel like I've done MMA. Obviously, I think I'm like 10 years undefeated. I was like 10 years, one loss, like 7 years undefeated or something. But like in the last year or two, I've gotten better than I did in the previous 8 years. So like I've gotten 100% better. And now for my last fight, going into this next fight, I believe I'm going to get, well, not this next fight, but going into this next year, should I say, I feel like I'm going to add a lot of things to my game and, show my whole arsenal of skills. Like I'm just 30 years old right now. So I'm not even in my prime yet, I don't think.
I saw a picture that you're rolling with Mikey Musumeci. How did that go? Some fun
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah, it's fun, man. You should be a fly on the wall to watch those scraps that we had. We had him at the UFC PI. He's good. He's real good at jiu-jitsu. Really knowledgeable. Just an all-around good kid. So I like training with him. I'm gonna train with him regularly for the next couple months. So he'll be here. We'll be probably just getting it in Las Vegas at Ali's classes. And not just him. I have a room full of just great grapplers. A great stable of like lightweight training partners that I do train with. Kobe Fair, he's a two-time All-American. Like you said, Mikey. Javid Basharat's 15-0. He's in the UFC. Farid Basharat fights this weekend. He's about to be 12-0. He's in the UFC at my weight. Jeremy Kennedy's the number one contender at 45 in Bellator, the weight above me right now. Dan Ige. Lance Palmer, he's a two-time PFL champion. Man, I train with so many people. Then those are just MMA guys, and I train in jiu-jitsu rooms with Andy Varala. Cody Steele when he's in town. Just so many different people, and just of a world championship caliber, not just in MMA, just in all aspects. Like I train with very good jiu-jitsu guys. Then I train with world championship MMA guys. Then I train with also good stand-up guys. Try to break all the facets down here in Las Vegas, and I get kind of the best training that I've ever had. So I take advantage of it every day. Every day everything's moving fast here, and you just have to get to a room. And as long as you're in that room, you can make the most out of it. And then being a world champion, being at the level I'm at, 19-1, it's real easy to go get work. Now it's
Yeah.
easier now. Everyone's coming for you. Like I'm shit. I got a black eye right now. I'm beat up more than I've ever been now because everyone's trying to take my head off every day. But I welcome all comers. You know what I mean? Because like I like to train and I like to get it too. So
I was just gonna ask you if you have to worry about protecting yourself now that you're like world champions. You get like 8 pounders coming after you, like big guys trying to hurt you, or so pretty normal, pretty relaxed. Not relaxed, but still safe in the room for you.
It's safe, it's combat, What do they change? Well, we're trying to hurt each other anyways, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't mind it. I welcome everyone. I go with all weights, so I go up to like 55 a lot. Like I try to train with everyone. I walk around heavy outside of training, like when I'm not in camp, anyways. So I'm able to train with all weights, and I dominate, all weights, especially in grappling. So, but I know how to keep myself safe. I'm not going to war with, well, I kind of am sometimes, but I'm not going to. I don't intend to, But
Yeah.
I don't think that people are like maliciously trying to come, trying to like take me out. I'm in a good like standing at my gym. I'm in a good position, have like all my training partners respect me. But I feel like a lot of people try to get the better of me now to test themselves, because they want to be essentially world champion one day. So shit, if they can go home at night and be like, yeah, I whooped the fucking Bellator champions ass today, they're probably gonna be happy about it.
To probably like, man, hopefully I don't get choked out by him in the first 3 minutes. If I do that, I had a great day. Like that guillotine is something pretty fierce.
So I got a lot
uh
of stuff, a lot of good chokes.
yeah. Ben Field wants to know what is the biggest thing you learned and what a lot of people are considering to be your breakout year. So what did you learn? What's the biggest thing that you learned last year?
Last year, stay consistent, stay consistent. I feel like last year was my most consistent year, but last year's the year I really broke through the scene of MMA. I really got the biggest, I got the biggest, what's it called? I got the biggest like opportunities in my life. And I was able to take advantage of those opportunities. Two spectacular finishes, two finishes I barely got hit. I barely took like 5 significant strikes in the whole year. So I was happy to, you know, kind of win the undisputed title, win the interim title, and win the Grand Prix belt. I walk with 3 belts. I got them here in my house now. So it's like, I'm just happy to have them. And now I'm happy to reign the division. What I'm going to do now is just going to be way better. I look to like, defend the belt. I want to be the best Bellator bantamweight champion. I want to be the best Bellator champion. I want to be the best bantamweight there's ever been to do it. And I'm 19-1 right now, 1 round removed from being 20-0. And it's a few little tweaks, adjustments. My goals are to win that. Avenge that loss eventually, and reign the division. Now I'm the champion, so I guess I already fought everybody in the top 5 of this division, so just want to keep my momentum going, and I want to fight like 3 times. Like these guys all think I caught them, or maybe I got lucky or something. So I know Stotts is circling the wagon back. He's running the track back all the way around to come get me, and it took him maybe a year to get back here, but he beat Danny Sabatello same way he did before. And I'm here if that fight gets made, I'll knock his ass out again. And if if Magomedov and me have to fight, because he's in the top 5, I'm ready to scrap with him again because maybe he thinks I caught him. He's never been finished before, so I think he thinks I caught him in the guillotine, which I had a few more before that even happened. You know what I mean? And I didn't catch him. I didn't catch those. I caught the 3rd guillotine. So I think I could do better than I did that fight. So I wouldn't mind fighting him again. And then obviously Archuleta was supposed to win on New Year's, and it would have been tailor-made for us to have a rematch, but he went to Japan and got knocked out for, I don't know why. He went out there and fought. But he went out there and fought. So he got knocked out, so I don't know if they're going to push him. But if I could pick any one of those 3 guys, because they're all ranked in the top 3, I would fight Archuleta because, he has a win over me.
Do you have any input in that, or do they kind of tell you now that you're a champion who you fight? Like, how does that work?
I don't know how it works. I think the input would be like, let's say they said that you had to fight someone and the champ was like, nah, I'm not fighting them. You know what I mean? I think like that You get like these contractual disputes. For me, like I'll fight whoever the fuck they want, 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, whoever they want. I'll fight them. Just keep my whatever. My pay is the same anyways, so whatever they want, I'll fight them. Even if they brought like Demetrius Johnson or someone over, I don't think that they'd do that, or if they brought a 45er down or they wanted me to go up, I'm open to anything and just obviously the biggest fights possible. But, I don't really have a say. I just say yes, They call me like what I say. I say yes. I'm staying ready to fight all year long. I'm staying in camp all year long. So, I stay just like I did the last 2 years straight. 2023 I did that. 2022 I did that. So I beat Horiguchi and Maga in 2022. 2023 I beat Stotts and Pettis, and now 2024 I'll beat, I don't know, circle the wagon, beat them all again, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing if you get that rematch with Archuleta. I would love to see it again.
Yeah, we were right there, man. We were right there. It would have been the best fight. One of the best fights we fought on Bellator 246, I think. We got a fight of the year for CBS Sports that year. It was a banger, 5 rounds. He beat me 3 rounds to 2. Kind of stalled me out, I think. You know what I mean? He did it. He did right. He did what he needed to. But I feel like in a rematch, I don't know. I'm walking around here like I know something that everyone else doesn't or something. I feel like in a rematch, though, I put his ass away. Like,
I think so too. Like times are different now.
Yeah, I have to.
You just continue to get better. What do
Next,
you attribute it?
two times the size that it was then. So,
What do you attribute your like most people make it to your level and they kind of taper out. It seems like every fight you're still making like huge improvements. Like your striking gets better, your grappling gets better, your stabs get better, and your movement gets better. Like every fight you add a new wrinkle to your game, and like most champions aren't able to do that. What are you doing differently that you're still growing at 30?
I don't know. Don't they say you don't get in your prime till you're like 30 or 31? Like, that's how I'm doing. I'm just training more, to be honest with you. Like, it's my training rooms. I trained for my first few years, like, shout out to Eric Herbert and Mike Dubs, Like, I trained underneath those guys, and I trained at that gym. And, it's great training partners and stuff, and that was my level. And then I trained at Jackson's, and then that was my level for a little while. And then I started training here in Vegas, and now this is my level. It's just like, you got to be in Las Vegas, you have to be here, or you have to be in one of these main hubs. Like I get world championship work every single day. It's not just me either. In the last 2 years, in the last few years, I'm 6-0 in the last few years since I moved here. Javid Basharat's 5-0, Farad's 4 or 5-0, Kobe's like 4-0, like Manel Cape's on a big streak. Like all the people that we train around, we're all like Jeremy Kennedy's been 4-0 in the last like 2 years himself. Like all the people that are solely surrounded by us, since we all started training together in Vegas, like about 2 years ago, I mean, everyone's been winning. So it's like, it's like in the training room, the level, So I think that that's how I kind of get better each fight, because I don't stagnate in one place. Like, if my training, even if it's like the holidays and it sucks here, I'm driving to like California to go get training there because like everyone here might be gone for the holidays or something, or I'm figuring it out, or I'm flying to Denver, to go to Gaethje's or something, or like, I'm doing things like out of the box, because I have the means to now, I'm able to do stuff. I have the time to, and fighting is my career, so I take it seriously. So like each fight, with more money, you're able to kind of like put more behind you. Like, we're doing this before where we're like, I was taking a bus to get to the gym. Like now I don't have to take a bus. Like shit, I could have a driver bring me to the gym. They wanted to, but I don't. Like I'll drive myself to the gym, but I'm saying like the time it used to take a bus to the gym, walk down to the bus stop, take a bus there, like the money that you had, like I was taking a bus because I only had $5. You know what I mean? I couldn't eat as good as I wanted to because I had $10. At sometimes, like So now I'm able to like invest in what I put my body 100%, invest in how I travel, how I can get to these places, and then invest in the coaching. Like when I get there, nowadays, like I could just hire a bunch of training partners for myself or like a bunch of coaches. If I
Yeah.
want to boxing, I'll go find the best boxing coach. If I want to work kickboxing, I'll find, you know what I mean? I'll go like, and I get these opportunities because I'm to a level now where I'm a world champion, but in order what it takes to get to be a world champion, you put so many hours in the gym. So I've helped so many people out, so many camps. I've been training partners for so many different people, sparring partners for so many different guys that are of UFC level in all different weights. So like then they give back, then their coaches give back, you know what I mean? Then like, just all these different pathways and avenues that you have,
Yeah.
like really hone like the best training to get the best version of yourself. And then when you put all that behind yourself, you know how.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Might have lost Pat there. All right. Well, I'll wait for Pat for a minute. We will just go through the questions real quick. Uh, how much does the power couple with you and Women's Go have to do with the new version of Pat Mix? I will ask him that if we get him back. Gabe Vega is a pimp. I'm not sure that. Hey, welcome back. Can you hear me, Pat? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I
There
could
we
hear
go.
my
Yeah, I
fault.
got you.
My boy Scott's calling me on the other line. Yeah, he just thinks it's time to call me at nighttime. I don't know why. 10 at night. Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can get the best training and you can get the best version of yourself. So like, when you're coming up or like you're traveling all the way to, let's say, Salamanca, hour away. You're traveling to all these places to, like, let's say, to Jamestown, Kinetics. And you have to do what you have to do in order to get the best training from, where we're from. So all I have to do is do that in Vegas, which is not that, it's even a smaller radius, you know what I mean? So it's like it's all here in the city. So it's pretty easy to kind of like take advantage of it. And if you're not taking advantage of it, then just like, I don't know, you're not doing it right. Like it's,
Yeah,
so that's why, like, I think that's why I get better each fight.
definitely works. I'm glad, like, you say that and you talk about how much you do for like guys that are world class, but you're still doing the same thing for your friends back home. I mean, you brought Pilot up to train with you, you brought Saul up to train with you. Like, dude, like you're taking care of people, and that's a pretty awesome thing for you to be doing. Oh, Pat's probably getting another call. The Apex is not open to the public. Um, you have to be in UFC or be the guest of a UFC fighter to get into the UFC Apex. I want to ask him about that too because I heard some crazy, crazy stories about the Apex, about fights that go on there and all kinds of stuff. Hopefully, Pat comes back in a second. Vegas is the fight capital of the world. I was trying to get a shout into Morgan Cavanaugh and some of the old guys that fight here. So hopefully we get Pat back. And while we are waiting, I will just go through a couple of quick sponsorships. Thank you to Integrity Martial Arts for posting this. Thank you to JCR Transport, who's also one of the sponsors of the show and takes care of Caveman's Corner. Thank you to Monster Energy Drink, which is Pat's sponsor. Hey, welcome back, Pat. Can you hear me? I don't hear you right now. All right, looking like some technical difficulties with Mr. Pat here. We should have him back in a minute or two. Monster, back to his plugs. Monster, Pat Mix's sponsor. You're muted, Pat. I can't hear you. I still can't hear you now. Oh man. All right. So we'll see what's going on with Pat. I forgot where it was. Monster was one of our sponsors. Also to K4 Super Brawl. K4 Super Brawl is going on January 27th. It is at Buffalo Riverworks. Make sure you guys get out. Tickets are on sale now online. You can go to Buffalo Riverworks and you can get them. They will have tickets at the door. You might want to be careful. This one might be sold out because tickets are flying off the shelves for some of these great fights that we got coming on for this show. We got Pat back again. There we go.
Fucking, my manager keeps calling me on the other line, so I don't.
It's all good.
Yeah, we got fight news and stuff, pushing all my plans back,
Oh man,
Yeah, I know.
cool.
But what was I saying about training, huh?
Yeah, I was just talking about you were talking about how you were taking advantage of Vegas, and I was like, man, you brought some guys out too. You brought like you take care of the guys in UFC, but you take care of the guys back home too. You brought Saul out with you, and that helped him out for his PFL fight. You got like just a bunch of guys. You got a Pilot out there with you at times. Like
Yeah, Morgan was out here for a little while. Sal, shit, Alex stopped out for a weekend one time.
nice.
But no, Alex just came out to visit. But those other guys trained with me. Pilot was training. Solomon trained. He actually got signed to PFL when he came out here. He stayed with me. He been with me for a long time. Me and Saul are brothers. So, he's gonna do a big thing this year. He's fighting in the tournament himself. So, we're hoping that he could, come through and win the whole thing. And I think he's going down to 55. So he'll be a new addition to PFL's 55.
Yeah, lightweight finally won't be short.
Yeah, I think that's a good division for him. So I think he can win it, and that 100%. I think he could win the whole thing.
1000%.
So that's life changing. So I think having him come out see it for himself, like he made his own kind of like it's a training group that he trains with and stuff. So like he takes just like me. We're like sponges. We take everything we can so to absorb it so that we have it. Especially coming from where we come from, not big, not a big MMA culture.
Mm-hmm. What is it like being an UFC PI? It seems like there's a lot of shenanigans and fights about to happen all the time. Is it not that well secured, or what's going on over there?
No, it's secure, man. It's just that it's like, I don't know. It's like a school, It's like you imagine that there's a sauna room. There's a hot tub, sauna, steam room, and like a pool treadmill. So it's all in one little area. And then like there's 2 locker rooms, men and women's locker room. So you're running into each other in the locker room. Like they can't have a security guard in the locker room all damn day. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That would look weird. So there's that. And then there's a cafeteria. And then there's like a big like workout room with like a turf and stuff like that. So everyone's running into each other. Can you imagine the shit that goes down? They walk by each other and someone's like, you little bitch or something.
Yeah.
And they start fighting. It happens all the time. I've probably walked in on a couple fights, to be honest with you. One time I was getting ready for a fight and I had to go there to train, and Damon Blackshear was fighting Amir Albazi outside. Punched him right in the face right when I was walking into the PI. I didn't know what would happen. There was like 20 people surrounding each other. I went in to train. It was just like another day. The one kid got banned from the PI, I think. Jake Shields beat up Mike Jackson at the PI. Or that one.
I saw that. That went viral.
That one went viral. There's been a couple. Hamzat and Paulo Costa almost fought one time. That was crazy. Like, there's been a couple. I live right near the PI, so I'm there every day. You know what I mean? So I'm always there, I guess. Tatiana, she's always there getting her recovery and her strength and conditioning. And, we're always eating there at the cafeteria. So, like, man, I see all the shit that goes down there. And then I train there. I train Monday and Friday. I train there. That's where Ali holds his classes. So I do like 20 rounds of grappling there a week.
Man, that's a lot. Do you get to use everything that the UFC guys do too? Like all the body tracking and the body fat checking and
Yeah, I don't use all that shit though.
That's like, no, I don't do that stuff. I just choke people there.
What are we doing, bro? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I don't get the doctors either.
No.
It's hard. But, I'd like the doctors because I have my own doctor at Extreme though. Dr. Sean, he works on me. Mm-hmm. I'm like super loyal to him. He just flew out to my last fight in Chicago. He stayed in the room next door to me, He worked day of the fight, worked on me the day before the fight. He's my brother. So like I've been with him since I was at Jackson Wink. He actually used to he was a doctor at Jackson's, and then he moved to Extreme Couture. So did I. So we kind of stuck together. You know, we're kind of similar age too. So it's like real cool. So it's like, he's my dude. But like when you go to the PI, they have like the best physicians and the best doctors that you could imagine. Like Tatiana gets worked on. There's like 4 of them at a time. She gets worked on by Heather. Sometimes I get worked on by Heather too. But she's like the best, you know. She's number 1 over at PI. She got voted like, you know, best, I don't know what the award was, but something for being the best doctor. But you got all that stuff. You got all that stuff over there, and that's kind of what you want, you know. Like you want to be like, you know, if you want to like your recovery, take it serious. UFC has the top of the line facility over there, and then same with the strength and conditioning. Like let's say if I was going up to 45 and I had to pack on muscle, you know, I'd know how to do it because like, you know, I'm around guys that, you know, are in the process of doing it. And then I see also like, you know, how much strength and conditioning that they do.
Yeah. What is a typical like a workout week like for you now that this is what you do full time and you don't have to do a regular job and you don't have to like you really can just concentrate on fighting now.
Like I'm big on like a lot of the craft work of it, man. So like, I don't know, like I like Sunday I grapple at 10th Planet. I'll grapple anywhere from like 10 to 12 rounds, like every Sunday. That's my big day. Like it's grappling live, super intense, fast pace. You start in the feet wrestling. I don't really pull guard ever, you know. I'm trying to, like, not trying to sound dumb or nothing. Like I don't mind doing that either. But I'm saying like you don't start in positionals is what I'm trying to say. You start from the feet, makes it a different like style of training. So it's very intense, you know, intensifies from that. So I do like 10 to 12 rounds there on Sunday. And then I take the rest of Sunday off. Then Monday, I normally, in the morning, I'll do pad work or I'll do like Eddie Bracco's class. It's like MMA class, striking combos, a lot of drilling, a lot of technique, a lot of just like technical stuff with striking. I'll get done with that class, go eat at the PI, shower, eat, go home, probably take my dog Roscoe out, hang out for a little while. Then I'll go back to the gym at like 4 o'clock and I'll do Ali's grappling class. When I do Ali's grappling class, we do like 8 rounds grappling live. And then we do like a half hour like technique. So like by Monday, I should already have 20 rounds of grappling in my brain. And then also I have striking pads already in on Monday, you know.
Yeah.
Then Tuesday, I'll normally take the morning off and try to recover. Or I'll go on a light run if I'm in camp because I got to keep my weight down if I'm in camp. Tuesday, though, is sparring. So I try to take the morning off or just run a little bit because sparring's hard. So I do like 6 rounds sparring. And then after sparring, we do 3 rounds grappling. Like spar hard, take your stuff off, 3 rounds grappling with MMA gloves on. So it's very intense. After I get done with that, I'll do like anywhere from 3 to 5 rounds on pads with Nate. Because I do pads Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. You know, that's my like goal. So I'll do my pads. I'll do my pads after sparring, not Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, pardon. I do my pads after sparring. Wednesday, I take it off if I'm not in camp. If I'm in camp, I'll wrestle on Wednesdays. You know, only wrestle, that's it. I'll take the rest of Wednesday off. Thursday, I'm back at it. I'll take the morning off if I'm in camp. I'll take the morning off or I'll run, or then I'll spar at nighttime. And then when we spar, we do the same replica of like 6 rounds, 3 rounds grappling. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then Fridays is similar to Monday. I do pads and then I do grappling again. So like I grapple like probably like 40 rounds a week, and then I spar at least 12 rounds.
Man, that's a lot. That's a heavy load.
Yeah, that's 5 days a week, or that's 6 days a week. But then if I don't, that's 6 days a week. But sometimes I'll only do 5 if I don't wrestle. I'll take the whole Wednesday off. So I take Wednesday and Saturday off. How I like to train is I like to train 3 days on, 1 day off, and then 2 days on, 1 day off. So I'll go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, hard as fuck. Take Wednesday off, recover. Thursday, Friday, go hard. Take Saturday off, recover. That's how I
Yeah,
train.
start the cycle again.
And I train like that every week, and I don't really tweak too many things. Like the only thing I tweak is if I go too hard because I'm not in camp. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Does wrestling get you? Like wrestling's tough, like on the body
I
especially.
take wrestling off because like
Yeah.
wrestling in our gym also a lot of small people tend not to go. So it's like I'm wrestling with like 170 pounders and shit, and I just get sore and hurt. By Wednesday,
Yeah.
like my body will start breaking down if I don't like, you know.
For sure.
Sorry, my phone is starting to.
No,
Phone.
it's all good.
But yeah, I said Wednesday, like my body will break down if I don't take the rest that I need. You know, like overtraining is a super big thing in the sport too, and if you do it like wrong, it only takes one time to like really get hurt.
So you don't do any heart rate monitor, nothing. Just if you feel wore down, you would take a day off, or do you always push no matter what during your regular training times?
Wait, what's that you said?
So like you don't use a heart rate monitor or anything to tell you when you're like wore down. Like you just if you feel wore down, would you take a day off during the week or?
Yeah, if I feel worn down, I'll take a day off, or I'll take the morning off, or like my coaches kind of tell me to take the days off because I don't really like to, I'm always in the gym. Even when I do take a day off, I'm there watching Tatiana. So like, I don't know. It's hard for me to take a day off. I gotta really be hurt to take a day off. I don't like to.
I know you. That's why like
Yeah,
I
I
have
really
a hard time imagining you like ever like maybe I'll take this day out. I can't ever imagine you taking it, especially if you got to fight.
I took
Like you're
today off. I took today off. I did. I took today off. I waited all the way till 6 o'clock at night for this podcast. I took the whole day off. I just did stuff around my house. This is one of the first days in a long time. But yeah, I don't like to take days off. Just for myself, like I like to train. So it's like, yeah, I don't take days off when I'm like, I don't have a heart monitor, should I say, like, or whatever, like a heart rate monitor, or like, I know you're saying a lot of people use those things. I don't though. I just kind of like, I go with my body, or like if I'm real sore that day, I'll just go with lesser rounds. Like I'll still get my technique in, but I'll just go with someone that I know that I could kind of dominate a little better.
Yeah.
And I'm a grappling expert, specialist too. So it's like, it's not too. I'm making the right decisions in grappling, so it's not hard for me to control you. Not you per se, but like, whoever my opposition is, like, or who I'm competing against. It's not hard for me to control you if you're not to the same level as me. I just know how to do certain things that like make it a lot easier for me to grapple. So if I go with, I choose my rounds wisely. Like, and that's
I
at the
felt
high level. That's how high level of grappling I am. I can go with guys that are in the UFC right now and pick rounds because those are my rounds off. Like I can just go with that guy because I don't want to work too hard, or I'm sore per se. Like I'm not going with the guys that are like world champions like me and Aljamain Sterling. We'll go heads up, or me and Marab, we'll go heads up. But if I need a round off, I'm gonna go pick someone that's like, a good pro that's not like world champion level.
Yeah, I fought pro and I'm a black belt, and I feel like I've never grappled before every time I roll with you. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah, it's
It,
just I'm just talking about the levels of training though. Some people think that they need a hard round every single round, and then like they end up getting hurt doing the shit. That's
yeah,
why you listen to your body and shit, like you said.
I like that. You're so smart now. Like this is so different than like when we used to hang out on a mat. Like you'd like talk for like 5 minutes. All right, I gotta go get some more rounds in. Like you would never relax, dude. And it's good to see that you're taking better care of yourself too. Like it makes me happy.
Yeah, it's smarter decisions, I guess, in training for sure. And outside of training for sure too.
Mhm.
But it's like getting to the level is like it's hard to get to the level. I'm trying to exceed that level. I don't want to be just a world champion. That being a world champion, it's relatively easy, to be honest with you. Like it's not like, not to say it's easy. It's like it's hard to do, but it's an achievable thing to do. Like other people have done it. Like I don't want to just do that. Like, there's 20 other people that have done that. I want to be like, I want to stand out. I want to be rare amongst rare men, other rare people, I want to stand out amongst all of them. So like in order to do so, you kind of got to like, you know, raise the bar for yourself and keep like trying to chase something better. I think like from 20 to 25 was one, my good years where I was like on a tear. Then I went from 25 to 30, and like 25 to 30 was when I made it to the main stage, the King of the Cage championship fights, the Bellator fights, all the way to the world championship. Now from 30 to 35, I just cement myself as the best one,
Yeah.
Any like 12 to 15 fights. That's like 3 fights a year, I win them all. I'm like 30 something and one. I'm looking like Henan Barao back in the day. That's my goal though. Those are my goals. So like in the next 5 years, I want to do it better than I did in my last five, and that's talking about all challenges, and obviously I'm at the top right now, and it's hard to stay here. And even if time comes, you fall, you keep going. I just want to chase this to the end, and be kind of an inspiration to like the other people that are kind of doing it next, and then the other people that kind of look up to me. There's a lot of people that look up to me from like our area that also kind of see how I come from nothing, see how like, fighting in the same roller rinks as these other guys were, and all the way to the stage where you can win $1 million and you can be, of a success story through resilience. So it's like, I'm glad to be that, that person.
I gotta tell you a story. Like all the K4 guys, when you're there, when we fight K4, they're all talking a lot. Like, I'm gonna fight in front of Pat Nix. It's like, dude, that's like the biggest. They don't even really care about winning. They just want to fight in front of you. And like, dude, like from watching you come from fighting in the roller rink to hearing that about you, like it's just so inspirational to hear that and like see the effect that you have and the drive that you're pushing people to go forward to be at the next level of this game is it's something amazing to watch. Like I love this sport. I've been loving it since like 1995 when I fought the first time, and I watched it like be dead here in New York, and then it came back, and then
Yeah.
then you brought us on the map, dude, and now people want to be like you, and like I've always loved you to death. I always knew that you were gonna do big things. I didn't know how big they were gonna be, but I knew you were gonna make it out of here and fight for titles somewhere. But dude, like you're a fucking world champion, and you're on my podcast. It doesn't really get too much
Yeah,
better than
bro.
that.
Much bigger, I said, this, just as just the way I act now, I act the same way when I'm on Joe Rogan's podcast. You know what I mean? Which I don't think I'm that far away from.
No,
Um,
I don't. They
no,
talk about you on there.
the goals that I'm going to achieve are gonna far exceed far more than what I've already done. With each fight, makes me very much more dangerous to the world rankings. I'm already in the top 5, especially with Aljamain moving up permanently to 145. It's only gonna kind of move me, closer to being the best in the world. And like as like people know, I still have fights left on my contract with PFL now and Bellator, but to the same extent, I think the goals and the things that I'm going to do are going to be, I'm going to be a superstar in MMA in the next couple of years. And I haven't broke the scene yet. Like I've broken the underground scene and like the the MMA like the hardcore fan scene, but I haven't broke the casual scene. The crossovers like kind of how Israel Adesanya, McGregor, Chandler's gotten, Poirier's gotten, Usman, Gaethje, all those guys have got those opportunities, and I feel with the right eyes, if PFL could do it right, I could be on the pay-per-view card underneath, let's say Francis or even Jake Paul or something like that. I think I could get some eyes on me this year, and 2024 to going into 2025, like these next couple of years are going to be huge for my career, and I think that's really going to take off.
If you had the opportunity, would you want to go to the UFC?
Yeah, who wouldn't, I guess,
Sure.
but who wouldn't want, I don't want to, I just want to test myself against everyone. That's it. I don't care where. I wouldn't, if I had the opportunity, I wouldn't mind those UFC guys coming over and fighting me too. All of them, all of them in the top 5. You got Chito Vera, Henry Cejudo, Aljo, Marab, they're all over there and I'm here, we're all trying to be the best. So, Sean O'Malley's bitch ass too. Like there's a bunch of them, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. There's a bunch, man. But I think like, I would love to kind of test myself against, the who, the people deem the best. because
Yeah.
I'm the number one.
People don't realize how even the levels are at 35 between UFC and Bellator, and it's like, man, there's some of the best 35ers in the world are in Bellator too. So it's not the same thing as all the other weights.
Yeah,
Um,
they're right. There is, there's just such a difference in levels, and it really is. It's true. You know what I mean? I'm just so much levels better than them, and it's crazy because they don't see it, but there is a super big level disparity between the UFC and the Bellator bantamweight division, and it's because I'm the number one at bantamweight in the Bellator, and I'm just so much better than all the guys in Bellator and all the guys in UFC. So it like makes for like this big confusion because Sean O'Malley's like 17-1, and his best win's Aljamain. He won
yeah.
like a decision over Peter Yan. Like, he's got less finishes than me. I got more finishes than the dude. I fought more UFC vets than the dude, I think. I fought Kyoji Horiguchi, who fought for a UFC title already. I fought Magomedov, who's beat Peter Yan himself. I fought Ricky Bandejas, who and finished him in a minute, who beat Marab. I fought Sergio Pettis, who beat Patricio Pitbull. He just knocked out Chandler in like a minute before he got signed to the UFC. So it's like, all these guys, I'm killing a lot of these real good guys out there. So it puts me to a status where I know, my wins are validated. Whereas Sean O'Malley only has kind of 2 wins, and then I think he has like a no contest because he poked that dude in the eye or something.
And then he got a title shot.
Yeah, then he also got TKO'd, and it's like I never been TKO'd in my life. Like I never been dropped in my life, even in training. Like, so he was put on his back and got his elbow smashed, an elbow smashed through his forehead, and then couldn't continue. Like that's never happened to me. Like he was 9-2 as an amateur. That's never happened to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so I just don't see I just don't see it happening. So it's like right now I could run this record up. He's 17-1. I'm 19-1. So I think he's gonna have to try to catch up to me, and I could just keep winning fights and just running this record up. I believe I'm the best in the world, and now that my manager called me tonight, I guess I got some good news and some exciting news coming soon. So
I love it. That's awesome. You heard it here first.
yeah, I'll tell you when we're off the air.
All right. So I would be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about Tatiana. She's got some fights coming up, and you guys are like the power couple of MMA.
One sec.
Oh,
Grab my
all right,
chart.
no worries.
I'm on my phone with that. I'm doing this podcast for a while.
One more time. We are going to be putting on a great show January 27th at Buffalo Riverworks. If you're in the 716 area, make sure you check out K4's fights. It's going to be called Super Brawl. We have some great headlining fights. Derek Patterson is coming to get his revenge fight after not having his rap signed. We got maybe one of the best fights in the area. Mason Lewis is going to be fight. Hey, what's up, Pat?
Yeah,
Pat is
Mason
back.
Lewis, keep going.
Yeah, Mason Lewis is taking on Aaron Klein in probably one of the best bantamweight fights in K4 history. It's going to be a great show, and we're back with Pat.
Yeah. So, what other fights? What's the date on that? January what?
January 27th.
27th. Damn.
Yeah.
I think Tatiana has her. Oh, you said we were talking about Tatiana, anyways.
Yeah.
She actually has her HBO. She has her premiere. There's a documentary coming out on HBO on her. She shot it last year, so I think the premiere is going to be that weekend. I wanted to come to the town to watch that K4 event, so I actually won't be able to make it to this one. But I was planning on it, and then I just realized that she has her documentary date that day, and it's about women's wrestling. A little bit about her story as well. But yeah, obviously, Tatiana, a big year last year. She was 2-0. One of the female comeback fighters of the year. She's just trying to build off that momentum this year and, kind of get back after it. Keep her win streak alive. She's 7-0 in the UFC right now, and just kind of get a shot at that UFC title. Once she gets a shot, it's all she wrote. She'll win that belt without a doubt.
She's amazing. She's just as good as you, and her grappling is outstanding. and I don't mean this in like a disrespectful way, but she is big for the weight class. She is like gigantic, just
Yeah,
like you are. Like,
she's strong for the weight.
yeah,
150 small weight, so she's very
yeah.
strong for the weight. She cuts weight properly, even better than me. She's the reason why I make weight easily. So she cuts weight properly, and she's just good. She knows how to train like Olympian. Like, she was on like an Olympic world team. She was a world champion, multiple time world champion in wrestling. So she knows how to make weight. She knows how to train, and without a doubt, I believe she'll be world champion.
She's starting to look like you with those guillotines too. I like it. Do you guys like really inspire each other to train hard? Like, I know you're always there when she's training. I see her there when you're training. It seems like it's like the perfect relationship for you guys.
Yeah, she's here. She knows what she's doing. Tatiana, come here. She knows. It's perfect for each other. Like you said, she helps me out tremendously. In all aspects of like just MMA, and I think I help her out too. Like you said, she finished with the guillotine. You see my wrestling getting a little better as well. So,
Yeah.
I think we really help each other. Tatiana, come here.
The way I saw you guys drilling in the gym, and watching guys drill is like some high level drilling with like people that care about each other. It was super inspirational for me to watch. I loved, like, not only was it like, it was like, I hate to say cute, but it was cute to watch you guys train. But not only that, dude, it was high level. It wasn't like no bullshit like training. It was awesome to watch. And dude, she's like lifting you like you were nothing. It was
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
to see.
the light. Oh, you want to say hi in the podcast while we're at it too? Hello. Come here, baby. Look, here she is. Come here.
Yeah.
This is the champ here.
UFC champ coming up. Good to see you again.
How are you?
Good to see you guys. We're just talking how you're the power couple of the MMA world.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she loves it, man. She's training hard, like I said, and we're trying, like you said, when we drill, I try to take care of her. Obviously, I'm a little bigger than her. I fight 35, she fights 15s. So, but she knows how to wrestle. She's been fighting she's been wrestling her whole life, especially with like, wrestling with the boys on the team. So like, it's easy for us to drill, especially wrestling. And then we're both hybrids, so we can transition to jujitsu real well and kind of help each other out. And we're always, training partners. Like, kind of when we're in Buffalo, we're going to the aquatic center, kind of holding pads for each other, shit like that. Like, when you have that, it's easy to do because I did it for so many years without having that. So, to have that makes my life so much easier, and it helps me out in all aspects of the game.
Yeah, it's great to watch you guys too. It's such high level shit. Like, it's nice to see two like elite grapplers grapple. Just watching that, even though like you're a man and woman, like watching guys grapple is it's like art. It's great to see. Like, for someone that, like, you don't see a high level training like that all the time, and it's cool because
Yeah,
you're like
no.
correcting each other while you're doing it too. It was not like some bullshit like, let's just get a workout in. It's like, it's real detail oriented too.
Yeah, that's how you got to be at the highest level, man. Like I said, I'm one of the best grapplers in all of MMA right now. Like, I'm one of the highest level black belts, in all of the sport. Like, believe me, I submit some of the best guys. Like, I don't train. I train with Mikey Musumeci. I'm not just training. I'm a training partner against him. Like, I can roll with. I can roll against him. I'm not just like, where he's working with you. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a threat, bro. I'm a threat to everybody. So it's like being able to be at that level is like, I guess, just like you said, it's like it's an art. And then like we try to like help each other out as we try to help like everyone else out. Like that's the thing. That's what I think is like a good thing with jujitsu and like wrestling, and like being able to grapple so much is like being able to go, like I still train in all these different rooms just as I was when I was a beginner. And I still train with guys like in 10th Planet. I'll train with guys that are just like new to this shit, that are wrestlers, or like, I train with everybody, and I don't like viciously tap them out either. Like, I work with people, I don't try to like, I dominate, don't get me wrong. I dominate positions too, positionally, but I don't ever try to like, like I don't ever try to be like malicious or fucking roll with malice. Like, I you kind of check your ego. Fuck when you. I feel like I'm like a fucking multiple degree black belt at this point. So like you kind of learn how to check your ego a few belts ago. You know.
Yeah, I've trained with you for a really long time. I've never rolled anyone better than you ever. And like I've trained outside of Buffalo, you know what I mean? Like I've trained with some good people, but no one's been better than you. And you're probably the lightest guy to train. Like Cyborg is like so much bigger than you, and like I feel like you just smash him.
Yeah, there's good guys though, man. Don't get me wrong. They're fucking
Yeah.
super guys, and everyone's good at doing their own stuff. Like jujitsu is such a different, evolving sport. Like Mikey's so good at heel hooks, whereas I'm real good on the back. Whereas Mika Galvao is good at like, I love his game, bro. Motherfucker's nasty in the front headlock, to the back game, all that. If you get a chance, like, if people listen to this, get a chance to take two things from it. Take like training habits, consistency, and then take like maybe some names that I'm dropping and go watch them, because that's how I got my grappling, or like, started watching guys and watching a lot of John Danaher stuff, He breaks things down to where I think I could understand them well. So like, I learned a lot of jujitsu just watching it,
Yeah, I have almost all the stuff right over here on my hard drive here. So it's
Yeah,
good
so
stuff. It's really good for teaching too. Like he breaks it down so you can explain it. He uses nice, cool, smart people words.
yeah. It's good. He breaks it down to where you need to like, where you can comprehend it and you can understand it, and I think that's important for like jujitsu. And then, I'm already high level, good black belt, but I train like I'm new to it. So like when I learn stuff in those details, like I think Mikey showed me something last week, like from arm bars and stuff, and it was nasty. Like I'm gonna be arm barring everyone now. I did not know. I mean, but I'm just saying like little things like that I could learn from anybody, and not just him. Like I learned from like there's this one blue belt that's like Brady. He's fucking from. He's probably a purple belt now. He's from 10th Planet. But this little dude's nasty. Like he gives me a hard ass go now. I used to kick his little ass. Now he's giving. Now he's giving me, these hard ass rounds, and I'm like, I gotta be on my A game. But I'm like, he got me. He caught me in some position the other day. I'm just thinking like I could learn from this kid. I could learn from
Yeah,
any. So like I think that's like a good mindset to have, and like, it's important to have when you talk about jujitsu.
it is, man. It's so important. And I think that's a great time for us to get out of here, and I'll let you go. And so thank you so much, hometown hero from the 716 world champion, $1 million mix. Man, I don't know how many more accolades we can put on top of you, but you're going to get every one of them that we can get.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you to you guys. Obviously, Caveman's Corner. Everybody back home, my coaches, Don Lilly, Dennis Brown, those are my guys back home. But then also WNYMMA, Dubs, Herbert, all those guys. Herbert's got a cool little school down the street too now, so it's like
Yeah, Lumber City. We
shout
just
out.
had some cross training on Friday.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. You got. I mean, how many schools are there out there now? If you think about it, there's so
Man,
many.
there's a ton.
You got Integrity, you got Lumber City, you got WNYMMA, you got Booma,
Uh,
you got
Buffalo
so many.
Combat
You
Fitness, Lake Effect,
Buffalo Combat, Lake Effect. You got the Flores
South,
brothers.
yeah, South Towns Takeover.
See, I
Like,
don't want to say any more because I might leave one out and then I'll fuck it up. But no, I'm happy to see Herbert's other gym doing his thing. Happy WNYMMA Dubs. Them guys. They're still holding it down, doing their stuff. So big shout out, big love to all the local martial arts. When I get home, I can't wait to mix it up with some guys. Train and big shout out to all my sponsors and my big sponsor Monster. That's my big shout out.
I changed my energy drink because you guys support Pat. So I'm now drinking
Yeah,
these monsters just
yeah. I
because you
personally
guys support Pat.
don't I don't indulge, but they are the
Yeah.
best sponsorship in the game. So big shout out to them and it's everybody. All the love from and support from the city of Buffalo.
All right, and then thank you, JCR Transport, for sponsoring Caveman's Corner. Thank you, Integrity Martial Arts, for sponsoring Caveman's Corner. And with that, we are out of here. Thank you guys so much.